Hey, I'm Michelle Weinhofen here at the Aloe Yoga flagship store in Beverly Hills. Today, this class is going to be focused on a Bird of Paradise tutorial, so how to get into it from a side angle pose, and also how you can get into it without having to go into extended side angle, but just kind of showing you the difference between the two, and also how to use a strap in order to find the bind of the hands if it's not quite accessible yet. Be sure to subscribe to Aloe Yoga's YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the other awesome yoga videos and tutorials. We're going to approach Bird of Paradise from extended side angle pose with the full bind, and an option to use the strap in that if connecting the hands together behind the back is not quite accessible at this point yet, as well as how to get into it from a standing forward fold with using blocks and also our strap. So if you have two blocks with you, grabbing those, they're not mandatory, but could be a helpful tool to try it out, and then a strap if you have that handy or something like that. So once the body's already warmed up, then you can try to do this safely a little bit deeper as we get into bringing the arms behind the back. So as we start, we're gonna start from extended side angle pose. So I'm just gonna have my right foot stepping forward. I'm gonna seal my left foot down. We're gonna do both sides. But as we find this stance, so front heel, back heel line up, I'm gonna bring my arm to the inside of my right leg, and I always want my chest open as I hug my right hip in. So a lot of the time I see hips kind of swinging out to the side because we can get down a little bit deeper, but then the chest is pulling forward and off to the side instead of reaching the side ribs in line with the right thigh. So we wanna find length to the front of the mat instead of bringing the body out to the side. So I'm gonna start by bringing my right arm underneath my right hamstring. And then I'm gonna turn my palm up towards the ceiling. I'm gonna take my left hand, bring it behind the back, and start to reach for the hands. So this is where a strap can come in handy. Doesn't have to be any fancy position with the strap, maybe just kind of taking one fold, then the other. So I'll hold one end in my left hand. I'm gonna bring my right hand behind and then find the strap here. So this is where once you find the connection, maybe you choke up a little bit on the strap. I'm gonna pull my heart forward as I open my right inner knee with my right shoulder. And then you're gonna reach the hands towards the tailbone as you seal the outer edge of your left foot down and lift the left inner arch away from the ground. So top of the head pulls forward, collarbones open. So before we come to step into our Bird of Paradise, I'm going to show you another way to get into it, and then you can kind of blend the two together. So the next step to trying this, so in class normally when you come from side angle pose, you kind of step to balance up onto that leg. So we're going to blend that together afterwards, but for now, grabbing your blocks, you can even layer it up a little bit higher, but I like this stacking this way just because it's pretty stable. And for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to use the strap again so you can see what it looks like. So as we stand up onto the left foot, the right leg's going to be bound, and that's going to be the leg that expands to ceiling. We want to have this action of rooting down into the standing foot, so this idea of root and rebound. Root down into the left foot and rebound the energy up from there. And then something really important as we do these balancing postures like this one is to lift the pelvic floor and the navel to spine so we get a little bit more buoyant in the pose. So the pelvic floor, that is the muscle that runs from the front of the pubic bone all the way underneath the body to the tailbone. It's like a hammock, and we want to bring that muscle up into the body. So then as we start to lift, it helps create that buoyancy effect as we come to stand onto the balancing leg. So to start, right foot down onto the blocks. And given that you might have done some forward folds already, the hamstrings are open, we're going to take the right arm underneath, just like we did. Then the strap will come into the left hand. The right arm will come underneath, palm facing up, and take it to the outer glute area. So the fingertips are reaching towards the left hip. And then taking the left hand behind with the strap, grabbing for the strap there. And now, before I even think about coming up, I'm gonna make sure my left toes are facing forward and grounded, so the knees tracking forward. I'm gonna keep my chest open here. So instead of collapsing the chest, I'm broadening, and this will help assist the inner right thigh to open. Then I'm gonna come onto the right toes. So I'm breathing as I do this. And I feel the weight of the body get into the left heel and the toes, all four corners of the foot pressing down. And then I find that lift of the pelvic floor and the navel to spine action happening. As I keep pressing into the left leg, I'm opening my chest, and then I might start to find lift. I'm gonna keep my right toes active, whether that be a point or a flex for you, and then roll the left shoulder head open. This might be where you come. Keep guiding down into the left heel. If you wanna go further, the right leg starts to extend up towards the ceiling as you roll both shoulders open. So we're hugging the right outer hip kind of forward towards the front of the room. And then when we feel ready, gently lowering the leg back down, releasing gently, maybe giving the leg a shake out. So then we're gonna combine extended side angle pose, finding that bind, and then moving into our bird of paradise from there. So I'm gonna set the blocks aside. For this tutorial, I'll use the strap again, taking the right foot and left foot back into our initial warrior two stance, so that as I keep the strap into my left hand, I'm gonna reach forward with the right arm, bring it on the inside, find that connection. Maybe it's a little bit wider, more choked up. So I've seen this been done a couple different ways. I come to the top of my mat as I do it. So as I gaze forward, I'm gonna step my left foot in, transition, so I'm high onto the right toes, down into the left foot, and then same actions like we just worked on. So finding that buoyancy, pressing down, lifting the pelvic floor open through the chest, and expand through the leg. Keep the toes really active. So they're a little bit crazy, but finding that reach through the whole foot, find that opening of the chest again, belly in, tailbone down. Once you come back down, just like you entered, bend into the left leg a little bit. Keep the chest open as you drop. So we're going really slowly, mindfully. Let the right foot connect. And then taking your time to transition back into the bound extended side angle pose, and then releasing back out. So trying it on one side first, then both, keeping the body balanced. And I'll see you soon. Thanks.